Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to welcome you to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Daily Recap, where we give you a recap of all of the hot topics that we covered that day. You can catch them in their long format and also catch it fully streaming for free on Apple Podcasts. As you guys know, I don't follow the NFL at all. Okay, I'm not a fan of football. I watch it occasionally. I've watched many Super Bowls. If I visit a friend and they got a playoff game going on or a football game, I'm most likely going to watch if it's entertaining. But I'm not going to sit down on my own and turn on a football game and watch it by myself. That's just me. I'm not the sport. It doesn't interest me to that level. That's just my take on it. But that doesn't mean anything, really, whether or not I'm interested in it, because the whole world seems to be interested in the NFL. That's why it's the number one sport in the United States. And given the lack of knowledge that I do have about football in the NFL, I do know that the Kansas City Chiefs are on the verge of making history. Apparently, there's never been a football team that has ever won 3 Super Bowls in a row. And Patrick Mahomes, who a good amount of people believe that he is the greatest Super Bowl quarterback that we've ever seen play football, a lot of people believe that the Kansas City Chiefs have what it takes to get to complete their three-peat against the Philadelphia Eagles, who they faced, I believe, just 2 years prior. So a lot of people are talking about that, right? A lot of people are having this conversation. We recently saw a segment on ESPN where they asked a question: Who's Patrick Mahomes? Is Patrick Mahomes the LeBron or the Michael Jordan of the NBA? And then obviously they had to say what the obvious thing was, which is the Michael Jordan. So what happened? Just today, we're just kind of running low on topics. Mitch sends over a topic and he goes, check this article out. I check it out. I click on the article and I'm like, this would be a fantastic segment. I want to quickly read the headline. It says, never been done before. Patrick Mahomes in awe of historic Michael Jordan feat that Chiefs quarterback doesn't think he can reach. But before we even get into what Patrick Mahomes had to say, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, PrizePicks. PrizePicks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports with over 10 million members. PrizePicks makes it easy to get real money action on the sports and players you love. You pick more or less on at least 2 for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. For example, this week on PrizePicks, I'm looking at the upcoming NBA schedule and selecting Stephen Curry for more than 29 points and Kevin Durant for more than 27 points and Anthony Davis for more than 12 rebounds and Luka Doncic for more than 8 assists. If you're like me and you like to play it safe, you'll love PrizePicks' new feature, Flex Plays. It's the safest way to play. You can still cash out even if your lineup isn't perfect. Plus, you can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. On top of this, PrizePicks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money as quick as in 15 minutes. So download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code CLNS on PrizePicks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. Okay, so let's get into what this article has to say here. It says, becoming the first team in NFL history to win 3 consecutive Super Bowls is hard enough. Accomplishing a three-peat with the Kansas City Chiefs, stepping away from football, then returning to pull off another three-peat? It's almost unthinkable, Patrick Mahomes said. Yeah, that's exactly what Michael Jordan did with the Chicago Bulls, and Mahomes can barely even imagine what it took for MJ to become the GOAT of the NBA. 100%, I think at any level, to have that much level of success is crazy, Mahomes exclusively told TalkSports on Thursday at a hotel in New Orleans. So for him to be able to win a three-peat, take time off, come back to basketball again, and do it again, that's something that will probably never be done again in any sport. Mahomes will make history on Sunday if the Chiefs defeat the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl. The new face of the NFL will also pull closer to 7-time champ Tom Brady, who is announcing the big game as the greatest quarterback of all time. But with each passing year, Jordan's achievements with the Bulls become even more remarkable. With Phil Jackson on the sideline and Scottie Pippen as a superb number 2 option, MJ won won it all in 1991, 1992, and 1993 to form a Bulls dynasty. And then the article then continues on. A stunning basketball retirement and experiment with the minor leagues baseball followed. I have reached the pinnacle of my career, Jordan said in 1993. I just feel I don't have anything else to prove. And then the article then goes on to say a few other things there. You guys can check it out. What are my thoughts on this? Okay. What are my thoughts? And this article is from talksports.com. What are my thoughts on this? Prior to us producing this show, you know, we have the Chrome. I have Chrome, the browser. So when people send comments, like it pops up on the screen to the channel, like it pops up on the right hand corner of my monitor here. And then I got a comment that says, right as I'm prepping to shoot the show, it goes, LeBron clears Michael Jordan. Some random comment. The irony of that. Look, anyone trying to make this thing a real debate is not serious. All right? They're not serious. They're just emotionally hell-bent on trying to make this something that it's really not. Look, folks, Kobe Bryant is my favorite player of all time. Kobe ain't Jordan. Because you have Kobe Bryant, the basketball player, and then you have Jordan, what he accomplished. What Jordan accomplished? Well, you heard Patrick Mahomes. He's in awe. He never mentioned anything about being in awe of LeBron. I'm sure he respects LeBron. I'm sure he thinks what LeBron is doing is incredible at his age. But we all know that the real measurement of a player is what they do in their prime. And what Jordan did in his prime, vis-a-vis LeBron or Kobe and all of these guys, you can't compare them. You simply cannot. Let's focus exclusively on this idea of a three-peat. To put it into context, in the last going on 40 years, there have been 3 teams to three-peat in the NBA. 2 of them belong to Jordan. 2 of them belong to Michael Jordan. 2 of them. Kobe and Shaq did it. No one else did it. So if you're someone that believes that LeBron is on Jordan's level, forget about LeBron three-peating 2 times. Why wasn't he able to do it 1 time? Do you know the reason why he wasn't able to do it 1 time? The answer is very simple. Because it's hard. That's the answer. It sounds like a very superficial response. Because it's hard. It's hard. That's why. Jordan was able to do the more difficult thing more. Whereas LeBron couldn't even do it at all. At all. At all. At all. At all. At all. Some people say, well, look at the competition. Well, let's look at the competition. Do you know that Michael Jordan and LeBron James has faced about the exact same amount of all-star top 75 players in the NBA Finals? Are you aware of this? You listen to these LeBron fanatics run up in here and try to give dudes lap dances for LeBron. You would think that he faced 500,000 top 75 players in the finals. They faced, I think LeBron faced 7, Jordan faced 6. But then let's look at the amount of teammates that LeBron have had that are top 75 guys compared to Jordan. Let's go through them. Jordan had who? Dennis Rodman, Scottie Pippen. Who's LeBron had? Anthony Davis. He now has Luka Doncic. He had Dwayne Wade. And I think I'm forgetting somebody else, but he had 3 to Jordan's 2. So if LeBron is better, why didn't he do more? If LeBron is better, why didn't he do more? The reason you can't answer is because he's not better. He's not better. And I can never take a LeBron fan serious talking about who did Jordan play when LeBron was playing in the East, when you had teams with a losing record making the playoffs. The Washington Wizards that Gilbert Arenas played when he was playing against LeBron in the playoffs. Do you know how many wins they had? They had, I think, 41 wins on one of those teams. You playing against teams in the playoffs, they got 42 wins. What are we talking about here? That's disgusting. So Patrick Mahomes is saying what we all know. He's saying what we all know. We already know. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts. Oh, let me guess. Patrick Mahomes is hating on LeBron too, right? That's what they're going to say next. Patrick Mahomes is hating on LeBron James too. Unreal. Okay, we're back. Ben Simmons is back. Ben Simmons is back. For those of you who've been following the channel, you already know what I think about Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is one of the biggest jokers we got going on in the NBA. But he's unreal. Ben Simmons is just absolutely unbelievable. This joker said, again, coming into this season, they don't know who I am. They don't know who I am. They forgot not play. They forgot not play. Ben Simmons was up there talking hella you know what in media day before the season started about what he gonna do. I think his trainer, man, the word gonna shock the world. Ben gonna shock the world. Ben gonna shock the world. So before I even get into the meat and potatoes of today's show, let's look at Ben Simmons' stats this season. Uncle Ben this season has played 33 games. All right. He said he was coming back with a vengeance. He came back with a vengeance, averaging 6.2 points per game on 54% shooting. You can't make this up. 0% shooting from the three. Attempted 0 shots. He's shooting 69% from the free throw line. You're like, man, that's an improvement. He hasn't shot that high ever in his career. The only difference is he's only attempting 0.8 free throws a game and 0.5. So God knows he must have not have even attempted more than 5 to 10 free throws. He's getting you 6.9 assists, 2.7 turnovers, 5.2 rebounds, half a block per game in 25 minutes, making over $40 million. That's Uncle Ben for you. Ben Simmons, Uncle Ben. So just when I thought that we were all done even hearing it from Ben Simmons, I came across a clip today from Shams where he was talking about Ben Simmons and the Nets are working on a buyout, which means that Ben Simmons could potentially be out of the NBA if no team picks him up. What we'd like to do now is a quick soundbite, maybe 30 seconds, is play what Shams had to say here on SportsCenter, and then we're going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to Shams here.
All right, so the deadline is passed. There are still moves to be made. What should we keep an eye on in the coming days?
Linda, one player to monitor in the buyout market is Ben Simmons. I'm told that he and the Brooklyn Nets are working toward a potential buyout. The Clippers and Cavaliers, from my understanding, are among the teams considering Ben Simmons in a buyout. He does prefer to play for a contending team in the second half of this NBA season.
I don't have to tell you, this is one of the craziest, insane deadlines I can ever remember. So Shams.
So you heard what Shams had to say. What are my thoughts about this? I think it's important that we bring it up. Ben Simmons, at the early stages of his career, was being compared to LeBron James, believe it or not. People were saying that this guy was going to be the second coming of LeBron James because of his height, his court vision, his strength, his speed, his ability to run the fast break, his athleticism. But Ben Simmons took it upon himself to never improve his basketball game. And he got worse and worse and worse. Ben Simmons stopped improving as an NBA player in 2019-20. Then he had that debacle of a playoff series. I forgot against what team they played. I forgot the team they played against. Doc Rivers had those infamous comments. Ben Simmons essentially decided to pout. Said he wanted out. Made a big fuss about it. Get me traded. Misbehaving at the training camp. Ended up in Brooklyn. Got to Brooklyn, talking about, man, I'm about to make a comeback. Then saw how KD and these boys were getting their asses handed to them in the playoffs. Ben Simmons, all of a sudden, his back hurts. He can't play. And ever since then, it's just been a downhill spiral for Ben Simmons. And now we're at the point where it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 7 years into his career. He has not improved as a basketball player. There are rumors of him only caring about the ladies and the gram and flossing and getting his money. And now he finds himself in a situation where he could potentially be out of the NBA for good. In the last 4 years, Ben Simmons has not played over 42 games in the NBA. Over 42 games. And now we're looking at a buyout, which means that Ben Simmons will then be in the buyout market, be a free agent. So the question then becomes, what if nobody picks up Ben Simmons in free agency? What if nobody picks him up? It means that Ben Simmons could be out of the NBA in less than 7 seasons. You went from being compared to LeBron James to being out of the NBA in 7 seasons. How does that work? How does that work? How does that even happen? And who do we have to blame? Nobody but Ben. People say, okay, it's his injuries. What does your injuries have to do with you improving your free throw shooting percentage? How are you going to blame that on your injuries? How do you blame that? They try to do everything. But then the thing that used to annoy people is that Ben would then have the nerve to post all of these highlight videos of him in the summertime shooting jumpers. Looking out there looking like Larry Bird. Then you get into the game and you can't even find any of these things. It was like, well, he doesn't have the confidence to shoot, but he has the confidence to pick up that money. I said it. You don't got the confidence to shoot, but you got the confidence to go to the bank and pick up all of them M's? I'm lost. You're being paid to improve. What people don't get is that Ben Simmons, the money that he's getting paid now, this $40 million, $35 million you earned last year, is based off of what they projected you were going to do. Ben Simmons did a certain thing after his rookie contract. So they gave him money expecting, oh, this guy's going to do this in the future. And what Ben did was absolutely regress. He regressed. So he even cheated the teams that were paying him on future production based on what he produced. So he cheated those teams. They paid him that money expecting the same level of production or more going into the future. And what Ben did was give him less. What Ben did was give him less. And now I'm hearing some potential teams that could be looking at him as the Clippers or whatever it is. But it don't matter. It don't matter. He will go to the Clippers and not make a difference at all. He's going to go to the Clippers and come off the bench. You ain't going to start him. You're going to have him in the second unit, maybe running the point guard, running the offense. Maybe in some certain defensive situations, put him in there to play. But this is what Ben Simmons has been reduced to. A glorified role player getting paid $40 million. This is what Ben Simmons has been reduced to. It's a sad story. But Ben has nobody to blame but himself. No one. Absolutely no one to blame but himself. It's a sad story. Yesterday was a day where I really didn't pay attention to any sports whatsoever. I only started catching up on things when I woke up this morning. Just decided to take a break. I said, you know, man, let's just do other things. So apparently there were some games that were played last night. I didn't watch any of them, but one of the ones that got a lot of people talking was the game involving two teams that recently just pulled off two mega trades. The first game featured the Lakers versus the Golden State Warriors. I did see the highlights, obviously. And in that game, the Lakers beat the Golden State Warriors pretty handily by 8 points. But I think in the first half, they were up by a lot. LeBron was hitting half-court threes. I mean, it was just a total you just put on a total show and beating them. So the television show that was covering the game was TNT, featuring the Inside the NBA crew with Chuck, Kenny, Charles, and Shaq, and they were talking about that. And ever since this Laker trade went down, a lot of people are of the mindset that this team could be a contender. And there are other people out there that believe that this thing is not going to work out, given the redundant style of play between Luka Doncic and LeBron James. Someone is going to have to come off the rock, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that's kind of been the pervasive narrative out there. So during the halftime show and at the end of the game, they were talking about it. And then Charles Barkley decided to call out TNT and other networks that are overhyping this trade of Luka Doncic joining LeBron James and the Lakers. And it got pretty heated at one point. So what we'd like to do now is we'd like to play a quick compilation of some of the things that Charles Barkley had to say on the show, especially the Shaq and Kenny. And then we're going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to what Charles had to say here.
Oh, when is Charles Barkley going to apologize to the Lakers?
Oh, yeah, you saw it was brought in.
Matthews, NBA.
They really dominating this Golden State Warriors team, that juggernaut they got. Oh, man. Shut up. Watch the game. Shut the hell up. Said they stink. They're right. Apologize. They in fifth place. You reward winning, right? And that's what you always say.
Yeah. They're not going to go higher than 5. Listen, man, I'm not going to overreact to them beating the Golden State Warriors. Listen, Lakers are not contenders. Y'all can tweet and whatever y'all want to.
You said they stink. They do not stink.
The Lakers are a mediocre team. Just because you beat the Warriors stink.
Even when this team's about to be 11 games over 500,
hey, man, that don't mean they're contenders.
It doesn't make you.
Do not start doing what the other networks do. The Lakers are not contenders.
You're better than mediocre. I'm just saying they're
Detroit, but you won't get the Lakers no props.
That's better than mediocre, Chuck.
Detroit, they're having a good, solid season. But you asked them, was the Lakers contenders? The Lakers are not contenders.
That's not what it said.
The Lakers are not contenders.
No, you said they were mediocre.
They are mediocre.
Sound like the Wizard of Oz. The Lakers are not.
The Lakers are not a contender.
The Lakers are not contenders.
Now, on the other hand, the Warriors. Jimmy Butler don't know.
The Warriors attendance.
And on the other hand, the Warriors don't know what Jimmy don't know what he got into, buddy.
They have a shot.
Had to part with Dalton Connect in
I like Mark Williams.
the course of that deal.
Did you answer this question, man?
Yeah, I answered the question.
What did you say? You didn't say.
He said they're playing well right now. I'm saying what's the ceiling?
Yeah, I said what's the ceiling?
Well, I don't think they're a contender. First of all, the Mavs.
How you not a contender with Luka Doncic and DeMar like on the team?
Because they're not a contender.
Last year, Luka went. Right, gotta let you talk.
Well, I think Shaq does have a point. This is about the Mavs right now. I love Max Christie too. I think people sleeping on the Max Christie part. The Mavs gonna have a chance to win a championship this year. The Lakers don't have a chance to win a championship this year. The Mavs do. OKC is the team to beat. I don't think the Lakers are better than the Mavs. I'm not sure they're better than Memphis. I'm not sure they're better than the Rockets. But this trade, in my opinion, we're all just conjecture.
So even after adding Luka, you don't think they're better than those teams?
I do not.
You still think they're 5 right now? They're gonna stay 5, or they're gonna
stay 5.
All right.
Because number one, they're not gonna be good defensively, and it's gonna be a really hard adjustment for Luka Doncic, in my opinion. Because I've said I think they're gonna have a hard time playing together because both of them are really ball dominant. LeBron can kind of get away with that. Luka's never played without the ball. Get away with that. Luka's never played without the ball. He's going to have the ball probably less than he's ever had in his life. Like I say, LeBron is so great. He can make the adjustments. But Luka's going number one. We've said he's going to have to learn to play faster because they're not going to play like LeBron and those guys are not going to do like he did against the Mavs where he gets the ball 100% of the time. He's going to have to learn to play the wing some, but listen, you just can't put great players together and think it's going to work.
So you heard what Charles Barkley had to say there, right? What are my thoughts about this? I have a lot of thoughts, okay? I have a lot of thoughts about what Charles is saying there. First of all, let's talk about the Lakers, okay? The Lakers have been surprising a lot of people, and I'm among some of the people that they've been surprising. The Lakers right now, if you look at the Western Conference standings, they're in the number 5 spot, okay? But they're tied for losses with the Nuggets and the Rockets, which would put them in the 3 seed. Now, granted, the Rockets have dropped 5 games in a row, which kind of allowed the Lakers to get back into the chase for a top 3 seed in the West. But nevertheless, the Lakers have been playing very well from that standpoint. Now, if we look at some of the teams that they've beaten some good teams. They did beat the Knicks, which is a good team. They did beat the Clippers, which is a good team, and they beat them by at least 10 to 15 points. So they beat those teams. Then they played a weaker team in the Washington Wizards. They lost the game that they weren't supposed to lose against the Philadelphia 76ers. They ended up beating the Hornets, which are a decent team. They beat the Warriors, but then they beat the Celtics. That's a good team as well that they beat. And then before that, they lost to the Clippers, and then they beat the Wizards. What I'm saying is that the Lakers have been beating some quality teams, especially as of recent, where they beat the Clippers, who were a good defensive team until that night, and then they beat the New York Knicks, which is a good team in the Eastern Conference. So they've been surprising a lot of people. They've been surprising people like me. I also got to give credit where credit is due. LeBron James has been playing very well. Okay, that's one aspect of this. There is another aspect of this that we must address, which is this: the ratings aspect. Okay, the Lakers are the cash cow for the NBA, and then probably followed by the Celtics and some other teams, but it's the Lakers. So whenever the Lakers are doing well, the NBA does well. And with that, it makes sense for a lot of people to try to hype them up. And that's essentially what's happening. And I think that that's what Charles is fighting against in this clip, where he says we're not going to be like all the other networks. Because if you turn on ESPN, they're hyping them up. You listen to other shows where people are talking about well-known voices, okay, like Gil's Arena, for example. They're hyping them up. A lot of these guys are saying that the Lakers are going to win the championship this year. You have other independent creators online that are hyping them up. So there seems to be this excitement surrounding the Lakers. And I think one of the reasons that exists is because, number one, it's the Lakers and they have a humongous fan base. But also from a rating standpoint, you want to hype them up, get a lot of people involved, get a lot of people into what they're doing. They just got the center there from the Charlotte Hornets. I forgot his name, Williams. I don't remember his first name. So a lot of people feel like this team could be a contender now. You see people on TV, Kendrick Perkins, getting pissed off at people saying that he doesn't believe that it's going to work. So you got that angle of the equation there. But the question now becomes, is this team actually an NBA contender, or is it not? Really, that's the operative question. Is it really a contender? Well, we got to address a few things. We got to look at a few things. Now, for the full episode of what Charles Barkley had to say about the Lakers, and for you guys to hear what I really, really think in depth, be sure to sign up to our Dreamers Pro membership that we have pinned in the comments below. And if you sign up today for 24 hours, in the first 24 hours, we're going to give you guys a 50% discount. So if you want to hear the full episode for today's show, be sure to sign up to our membership. We have that pinned in the comments below. So make sure you guys go ahead and do that. You don't want to miss what I have to say at the end of this show. We catch you on the next one. Peace.